Welcome everyone to our Veterans Opening this evening. It's a little different than what it's been in the past. I'm Samantha Johnston. I'm the Executive Director and Curator here at the Colorado Photographic Arts Center. And if you haven't been to CPSC, but most of you have, we have over 50 years of experience with education, exhibitions, and we're so excited about the Veterans Program. 2020 definitely presented challenges for us as well as for running the program. And we're so thankful all the participants did Zoom, got through it, figured it out. We have this amazing show. It's crazy to be sitting here basically by myself, but Trina's in her office, so I'm not totally by myself, but it was so good to see those who were able to come this evening and come for the timed entry. Just so everyone knows, the gallery will be open for regular gallery hours for the run of the show, and you don't have to make an appointment. Just was for today to make sure we could monitor how many people were in the space. So I just have a few words to say, then I'm going to introduce Frank to say a few words, and then if anyone else wants to share about work. And I have a little video of the space as well to show as well after I finish talking. So a huge thank you to my staff and to our board and interns and volunteers who help all this happen, to our veterans in this year's and to our past veterans, to Varney and Patty Halleck and Paul Weinrock, who all helped to make, and Trina, who all make this program possible. Thank you, thank you. So this year's program, Vantage Point, Personal Projects by Veterans, is a 10 Colorado artists who have served in the US military. And it's the culmination of our 5-month-long program, which provides participants free of charge a project that lets them intensely reflect on their inspirations, life experiences, or any personal project that they're excited about pursuing. And we are so thankful to our partners and sponsors for making this exhibition and this program possible. This year's program, the 2020 Veterans Workshop Series, was created in partnership, as it has been with the Art of War Project, Task Force ISO, and VFW Post 1. And without funding, generously provided by the Arts and Society grant, which funded the whole program, which was amazing. It's a collaborative grant program funded by Bonfi Stanton Foundation, Hamera Foundation, Colorado Creative Industries, SCFD, and the Colorado Health Foundation, and it's administered by Redline. So we were really grateful to receive that funding in 2020. Additional support is provided by Read Art and Imaging, who did all the amazing printing for the exhibit, Haunamule Paper, who donated the paper, Sony, who gave us some cameras for the project, and Metropolitan Frame Company, who again did fantastic framing for the work. This is our 4th year of the program, and the goal is to provide local veterans who have a passion for photography access to advanced photographic education. As I mentioned, each artist is asked to consider a personal project and to explore a narrative that goes beyond a single frame. And we could not be happier with the results of this project. I did all the mentoring, and it's so amazing each year to be able to get to know and to see the work develop throughout the 5 months. So thank you and congratulations. If you haven't had a chance to see the work, as I said, I'm going to be showing a video. We also have information on our website, as well as a catalog that you can see that we print through Blur. And we also have catalogs available in the gallery. So Frank, I'm going to let you say a few words, and then I'll show video. And then if some people want to let me know if they want to share work, I can put their work up on the screen. So congratulations, and thank you for joining us this evening.
Thanks, Samantha. You took everything I was going to say. I think I can figure out a couple things to say. First off, I'm just so grateful. It's such a great experience for me. Hi, Brandon. Good to see you. Just joined us. I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to do this and to get to meet all of you and to explore photography with you. And I just am always so impressed by the work that you do. I said to Samantha this afternoon, I think we're getting pretty good, but really Samantha and I and Trina, in terms of making the pictures, we don't take the pictures, you do. And so we're just so pleased with the work that you've done. And we drive you pretty hard. I know that I and Patty are always pushing you to do better, and we have high standards, and we just keep prodding and prodding and prodding until this fabulous work comes out. So thank you for letting us prod you along. It took my breath away this afternoon when I saw it all on the wall. I miss the old days of when, and Carl can attest to this, there's what would you say, Carl, 100, 200 people in the gallery on the opening night. But we're going to get back to that. And I think it was a really great opportunity this year to just even do it. I think Samantha and Trina are really to be commended for taking the risk of putting this together in the middle of a pandemic. So now I think we have the confidence to run this thing no matter what happens, right? So well done, everybody. I don't know what else to say. Jump in, guys.
That's all right. That's great. Well, I'm going to show this short video. It's just about a minute long that kind of gives the whole gallery, because what's behind me is obviously the gallery, but just a little piece of it. So give me 1 second and I'm going to share my screen. So I found that with the Zoom, having these Zooms after the openings when we can have timed entry, that it's nice for if you weren't able to come into the gallery today, for everyone to be able to see kind of all the work on the wall and to see everybody's work. So so thank you again for all of our participants this year, and to our past participants who are joining us this evening. It's so great to see all of your faces. I don't want to put any of our current artists on the spot, but if any of you want to share about your work, I'm happy to put some images up. You just have to let me know if you want to talk, because I'm not going to make you talk.
I'll go if you'd like.
Okay.
I'll break the ice.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Told you I'd be here in case no one else talked. Just in case. I'd be here.
I'll get your images up, Michael. Give me 1 second.
All right. I'm just going to read my artist statement. Really, it's probably the best way to explain it. We were actually there today. I wanted to share. We were there at the 2 o'clock window, and yeah, it's COVID, and would have been great to have a bunch of people there. But I told my wife it's like a private showing, so we were special. I'm trying to go back out of full screen. Give me 1 second. All right. You can hear me okay?
Yep.
All right. So title's Panopticon. It's Big Brother is watching you. A quote from George Orwell, 1984. All my information is already online, so it doesn't matter, is a common thought when accepting the terms and conditions that most people never even read or understand. The knowledge that we are always being watched or that our identity can be stolen has become so routine that it's the backdrop of daily life. Raising 4 children that came of age during the start of the new millennium, I feel like this ever-present threat continues to expand faster than most can perceive the change. Variations of the concept that if you're not paying for the product, then you are the product have circulated since at least 1973. Whether surveillance is wrapped in the attractive package of increasing personal security or data collection, sharing arrives with the promise of making your life easier with a personalization that comes at the expense of your privacy. Throughout these photographs, I use specific techniques to convey being watched secretly, always and everywhere. My daughter is my subject, and at times I compose the images with bright light to contrast with the dark negative space from the shadows and my daughter's dress. This darkness symbolizing the dark secret of surveillance that she must be aware of. Like most parents, I want the best future for my children and worry about how growing up in a time of such open information sharing will impact their future. Choosing my daughter as my subject helped emphasize these risks to her while also keeping me from becoming a secret watcher myself. I intentionally filled the frames so that the viewer could have as much of the scene's detail to explore, themselves becoming the watcher, while they violate the privacy of the photograph in front of them. You are the watcher, you are the camera. And then another quote from George Orwell's book, 1984, you had to live, did live from habit that became instinct, in the assumption that every sound you made was overheard, and except in darkness, every movement was scrutinized.
Thanks, Michael.
Mhm.
Anyone else? Bob? Brandon? Not to put any of you on the spot, but I'm going to.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, that was good, Michael. I like hearing it every time.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm looking forward to hearing yours again. No pressure, but
Oh, shoot.
I can talk a little bit. I don't have my stuff with me, but go ahead and put up the pictures.
I'll put up your pictures. Give me 1 second. It'll give you another second, Brandon, if you want to say a few words.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I mean, I'm good. I gotta get my artist statement anyway. So
All right. Well, I'll share yours, Bob, first.
Okay, my work was more, I'm not as, I was actually there today and my wife said, you're the only person there that didn't have a picture of a person, one person in any of your images. So I'm more of a architecture, landscape photographer, but I took pictures of, my subject was Denver after dark. So I took subject pictures of iconic places in town. It was not maybe as stretching as far as some of the other people that did things that were a little bit more human nature and a little bit more awe-inspiring, but I enjoyed it. I've been in Denver now for 25 years and I was here in the Air Force back in the 70s, early 70s. So my pictures are more nighttime. I like black and white. I've been doing this for about 20 years on and off. Once my kids got big enough that they didn't need me around, I have been able to do a little bit more now the last couple of years. I enjoyed this very much. I want to thank Trina, Samantha, Frank, and Patty. Yeah, this was a real eye-opener to me, and I really appreciated the effort. And for those who haven't gone down to see it, as Frank said, it is mouth open drop. Your mouth jaw drops because it's just the pictures are phenomenal. So that's about all I have right now. Thank you.
So Bob, I have to brag on you a little bit. You got a picture in the CPAC architectural exhibit.
Yeah, that was one that I tried to put one in there, or a couple in there, and that one came through. Yeah, that was the very last night of all my pictures was that picture, and it came out pretty nice, I thought. But
which
yeah,
image was that, Bob?
It really did. And one of the things that we always hope for our veterans is that they go beyond and they show their work in a lot of different venues. So you're the start of this group. So keep going, everybody. We hope that everybody continues to enter exhibits and other things. And that's a great thing, Bob. Proud of you.
I've got a couple coming up on I forgot, what's it called, Samantha?
Oh, the show at the Museo, and then I will be sending to all the veterans to remind you that Month of Photography is happening in March of 2021, our gigantic festival. Much of it will be online, but it'll still be fantastic, and there's lots of call for entries on the website. We're partnering with Nightlights Denver, so things will be projected on the clock tower, so we have a lot of exciting programming happening. So everyone, including past veteran participants, should be checking out those calls. And Don Gardner also had a piece in the Your Denver show.
Ah,
Nice.
I missed that.
For life as well.
Thank you. Thank you. For those of you that I haven't met because of COVID and all, I'm class of 2018. I feel like an old timer here.
You aged well.
I was going to echo on what Frank just said, though, because I hadn't done much with photography before doing this class, but I've really tried to stretch myself, and I would encourage you to try and enter a contest and, you know, submit things to different venues and to magazines. That because we couldn't get out and do a lot of galleries this year, I kind of set that as a goal. And sure enough, I got placed in a couple of online exhibits. And as Samantha knows, I also got an image in the Denver Life magazine. So it's quite gratifying when you do that. It's you got to be able to take rejection or no response whatsoever, because a lot of times in these contests and exhibits, you don't even hear if you got anything in or not. But when you do, it's very satisfying.
You always hear from the CPAC contest. We let everyone know.
Indeed, we do. Yes, I like that very much. You hear one way or the other. Some contests you don't hear
I
at
know,
all.
and that's terrible. I don't like that. I like everyone to know where they stand and what they got in, and if they didn't, it's better. It's helpful for
Yep.
you. So.
Yep.
Brandon, do you want to talk about your pictures?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm into it. So it's kind of a reflection on myself, you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and read the bio. So my project's called Lost No More. Here we go. Sometimes it requires being vulnerable in order to regain strength. Even though it's hard for me to speak about my time in Afghanistan, this platform to speak about my experiences is important to me. Seeing and reliving these experiences has been humbling and stressful, however therapeutic, and that's a blessing. My project is not only about my experience, but that of many others as well. It begins by painting a picture of what I struggled with after coming home from deployments. I suffered with multiple injuries and found myself lost, paranoid, and suicidal. I was wounded in Afghanistan on my second deployment and found myself medically retired at the age of 23 with no direction or sense of purpose. Then I met my service dog, Jack, and that ultimately changed my life. I was lost for many years, not living, but simply surviving. I struggled alone because I kept people at a distance. I felt the shame of being wounded and didn't share with many people how much pain I was in. Then another blackout seizure during a veterans retreat hosted by Beyond the Battlefield would change the course of how I look at life once more. The following weekend, the founders said they were going to sponsor me in receiving a service dog for my seizures, etc., paying for Jack as well as all of his training. The simple act gave me hope and sparked a chain of events that will ultimately save my life. Jack gives me a sense of purpose and unconditional love, retrieving my medication when my alarm goes off every morning, getting me out of my apartment, and experiencing the life I once knew, from going on hikes, bike rides, and hitting the fairway, etc. Feeling comfortable going to the store, completing everyday simple tasks that I once took for granted, knowing if I had a seizure, he'd be there helping me through it. Jack helps me experience everyday life without reservation, and for that, I'm ultimately blessed. With Jack by my side, the two of us against the world, we can't be stopped. Oh, thank you. So, yeah, it was different. It was really cool. I was there today, and it was awesome to kind of see everyone's work and how they do it with the lights and how they put on the light, how everything makes a difference. It was beautiful, and I appreciate it.
Do you know how much different you sound now?
I do not,
Yeah.
sir.
Thank you so much for sharing. Honestly, Brandon, it's amazing to hear a story like yours, and you know what I'm going through isn't near as bad. Thank you.
We all deal with our personal battles. Just glad.
It's true, though, you do sound different from the beginning of the program. You just feel, to me, like you are standing taller and have way more confidence than
You should sell yourself short. So did I.
You're so good at it, though.
What?
Sorry, Jessica, I muted you.
That was good stuff, though.
Dan Pepper.
No, it is.
Oh, you need.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Brandon.
Jessica, you're next.
All of you, you've all grown and developed. And loved. Well, Jessica, do you want to share it all? Oh. And she's muted.
Sounds like she's in a noisy environment.
She is in a noisy environment.
Yeah.
I was not able to seclude myself, but I am able to share my story if you'd like.
Yes, you can. I can pull up your image.
Okay. Yes, I can share.
You want to start talking? I'll get images up.
Do you want me to start now then, Sam?
Yeah, go right ahead. I'll get them up.
Okay. So my story is about when I separated from the military. I had a lot of questions to answer, and I wasn't sure what I would do next, what direction my career would go, where I would want to settle down. My van is helping me to sort out these answers and explore the nation in search of my final destination. But van dwelling is challenging. When living on the grid, you can dispose of your bodily waste with the pull of a handle. Water magically appears when you turn on the spout, and electricity in the closet space is available in surplus. For me, the challenge I find most difficult to accept is the loneliness in the van. Major concerns that presented themselves as I prepared for this lifestyle included safety and funding. In building the van, I decided to forego windows to make myself less vulnerable to the outside dangers. Further, I try not to let anybody know that it is just me in the van, especially when arriving to a campsite. Funding is something that I'm still working out. Luckily, when I started this venture, I had a fat savings account, and though it has gotten a bit slim, it will support me until either I can supplement my pension with my photography or select another career path. While on the road, I tend to see more men, couples, and even families file out of vans than I do single women. But that's not to say that we aren't out there. I have many single female friends that are also wandering in search of something greater than themselves. It's much akin to the ratio of women in the military. There may be only a few of us, but the dedication and determination make sure that our presence does not go unannounced. Now I'm behind the lens, capturing frames, exploring this new life that I've chosen. I have no doubt that I've made the right decision to live off grid, and this collection of work only solidifies that decision. Thank you. I apologize. I know it's noisy in here.
Okay. It should be noisy behind me, but it's not.
The echo, yeah, there's the echo too.
Well, I wanted to thank everyone for joining us this evening, and for those of you to share about your work, unless there's anyone else who wants to share who's on the call.
I'll give it a shot.
You want to share, Don? Okay.
Thank you, Don. Yes.
By the way, Patty, I have continued that project we discussed. COVID has just kind of slowed it down a bit. I have about 5 different business people that I'm going to go take pictures of.
Great. I'm so happy that you're continuing.
Okay, photography is a lifelong interest for me. My first camera was a Canon Pellix QL, better known as a brick. I bought it in 1969 while I was in Vietnam. I carried that camera over 30 years. Over the years, my interest had tapered off as family and professional life occupied my time. I am now gainfully unemployed in my retirement and looking to re-energize my imagination. With interests that span portraits to landscapes to street photography, my fascination is the moment in time captured by the camera, the textures, the colors, and the visual story that can be told. The observation of people in everyday life has always interested me. Generally, we see pictures of the notable people and the downtrodden. I find there is an unending panorama of everyday life right in front of us. I have chosen to look at the highway construction workers at this time. They are working right beside the freeway and as we speed by. My goal is to visually display the traffic going by as they work in an effort to depict their experience at work as we go past in our cars without a second thought. Eventually, I'm going to continue photographing others that fall into this group. For example, window washers, tree trimmers, dog walkers, merchants, bar owners. By the way, the four or five I have are all bar owners and they're jarheads, and homeless and more. To develop the project further, I want the pictures to be more personal with headshots and interviews of each person. In my life, I've found that many people have ended up in jobs that they had not planned on or even knew existed. People's stories are interesting to me to see how they got where they are and how they are doing at this point in their lives. And to hear what they see in their future. I will be especially looking for veterans and their stories of transition to the civilian life. Some photographers have developed a lifelong project that gives them a point of reference in their lives. This, I think, will be mine.
So that guy had it all written.
Thank you, Don. Well, a big congratulations to our fourth class. Thank you so much. Thank you for participating and doing all the things in a little bit of a more challenging year. But we're so excited the exhibit is up and that people can come and see it. And you are now part of the alumni group, so we will keep you involved with emails and reminders and meetups, so you're not done with us yet.
Before you sign off, I, for one, would like to thank all of you that set this up and got us through it. Your work and your dealing with us on an individual basis was tremendous. I know we didn't all have the same skill level. I, for one, know that. And I thank you for your nudging, Frank. So
You're most welcome.
You guys did a great job, and we all owe you a nice round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
I'm proud of myself.
We should be, sir.
Well, and the show is here till February 13th, so make sure, come down, stop by, see it, tell your friends. And I just can't thank you enough. We're so proud of this program and the work that continues to develop and the work that continues to develop after it. So keep up all the good work and congratulations. And have a great evening, everybody.
You too.
Great to see everybody.
Take care.
Ready?